Hi, and welcome to another Dwarven Tavern review. I'm Dr. Jeff Goins, and I'm here to talk about today the Outbreak Deep Space by a gentleman named Christopher J. De La Rosa, who wrote this book for Hunters Publishing. And it's a really interesting system. It's not a D20 system. It's its own system, okay? And it's based on, this is actually an improved version, or I don't want to say improved, I want to say an updated version of the Outbreak game that they came out with earlier. And this particular game is obviously set in deep space, right? So let's take a look at it, what we have here. First thing I noticed was the book quality. You can see from these internal pages that the quality is it's glossy. It has a futuristic kind of font, and it has a really interesting layout in that. The artwork is really incredibly cool in this book, because it has moments like these where you have zombies as seen by the security camera that you had to hack into to start it up, and so it's just really cool. The artwork is really cool and kind of dark and really scary, like, you know, zombies in space should be. I think they captured that really well. What I would like to talk about first, though, other than what I just talked about first, is the way the chapters are laid out. Okay, there are 11 chapters, and in this particular case, with chapter 1, you get right off the bat, you go into the rules of the game. There is no extraneous setting. There is a setting later on in the book, but you can get your characters ready and then learn about the setting and jump back and forth. The good thing about pages is that you can turn them and go in, you know, like you don't have to go from page 3 straight to page 4. You can go anywhere in the book you want, because books are magic like that, and that's why I love them. But this particular layout is very, very cool. It goes from Terror in Deep Space, what you need to play, and a gameplay overview, which talks about its D100 system, and it explains it here in very, very graphic detail. Plus, it introduces the D5 concept. Now, this is a cube, right? So it's very, very visibly a D6. However, instead of a 6, they have their symbol on there. So if you roll a 6, you can re-roll it to get a variable from 1 to 5. You can also do that with regular D6s, right? I would hope you're smart enough to do that. I have faith in you. So, yeah. But the things that these are color-coded: red, white, blue, and black. Very patriotic. And the black are the difficulty dice. The blue are the speed dice. The red are the damage dice. And the white are the depletion dice for the system. So, and it's a 1d5. If you really wanted to, you could always take a D10 and roll it, you know, go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and get a D5 that way. But these are cool, and they're more dice in your bag, so that makes it cool. The only thing better than having one of something is having 2 of them, right? So, after it explains the basics of the game, it goes on to chapter 2, which is character creation, which is cool. It's exactly the way I like for games to be laid out. Because, you know, I had a problem with one of my earlier reviews because you had to go through something like 85 pages of setup just to get to character creation, and then all the rest of the rules were hidden in the setup in little sidebars and little paragraph snippets, and you had, so they were forcing you to read the entire thing in order to get the rules. This is not like that at all. This is incredibly cool because it goes creating a character into their attributes are spew, and that's strength, perception, willpower, and empathy. But it's strength, perception, empathy, and willpower are your basic attributes, and that really, it makes it easy. I like the system. Then in Chapter 3, it has a list of descriptors, which, let's go to page 38. Real nice copy of the character sheets there. And so on page 38, it goes to descriptors. Now, the descriptors are all of the basic things that you need to know about. It may be oversimplified a little, maybe. I don't know. You might like it that way. I kind of think it's cool. It explains dark. It's like a glossary. This applies to any situation that is done during periods of time that are considered night, and any situation that is light deprived. Kind of politically correct there. If you're lumen challenged, you are officially in the dark. By being enclosed in caves or large building with no power or windows. Okay, that explains it. It explains everything. Almost, not everything. It's only like 4 pages, and you can't explain everything in 4 pages. But explain everything in a game pretty well. Then it moves on to abilities, disadvantages, and motivations. It goes into skills. Chapter 6 is gameplay and combat. Chapter 7 is locations, such as, we'll scoop over here to page 126. I don't know why we're scooping, but scooping, I guess, is what you do with space books and zombies. Well, zombies, definitely. You scoop out those brains and get them away. So, sample locations are armory, bridge, brig, cargo hold, quarters, crew quarters, etc., engineering bay, all that stuff. And then it goes into detail about what each particular location has and the speed at which you may travel through it. And with this game, you roll dice for your speed. So, there's some days you just can't get out of bed. I rolled low since 1972, I think. Anyway, then it goes to Chapter 8, which is the gear. Chapter 9, which is the opponents. Chapter 10, which is game mastering. And then the index and references, Chapter 11. Very nicely delineated. I give it tons of kudos for that. The thing that I did want to mention about the opponents, which may be a bit of a drawback, is when you're talking about opponents, and let's go to the opponents section. Okay, it has horror traits. Okay, it has a list of horror traits, just like the definition or the descriptors, such as a bite attack or crush or what have you. And these are just disembodied trait modules that you plug into your monsters, I guess. And it allows for customization. I like that. I like the option of having like a giant bug with Thanatosis. And that's not just like bad breath, although I'm sure they would have bad breath. But Thanatosis is the organism has the ability to play dead to make characters think they have either killed them or that they are already dead upon discovery. Then you have to roll an E%, which is one of the game mechanics, that is successful by 4 or more in degrees of success, will allow an opponent, that's a weird sentence, to alter deployment distance by 25 feet per perception bonus instead of the normal 10%. So you can not see that it's dead, or you can see that it's dead, or that it's not dead, and it's just like playing dead. Then other things, you've got things such as viral. And then it goes into depth about the infested and all that good stuff. And the artwork is fantastic. It's very nouveau, I guess you would say. It fits the book perfectly. It fits the theme very well. So the only thing is with the modular ability and the lack of, or it's not a lack, but it's kind of less prefab monsters with all their abilities and more of you may add this thing and that thing to your monster, which to me that puts a lot more on the game master to do that. So it may be a bother. I don't care for that. I'm going to give this book 4.5 axes out of 5 because of that modular thing that we were talking about. It makes it a little more work for the GM, which I don't. Since I'm the GM a lot, I don't. But it's a really cool system. I like it a lot. It plays well. It plays smoothly. It might be overcomplicated in some areas, but it's not anything that if you take the time to read it, you'll find out. So that is Outbreak Deep Space Core Rulebook by Christopher J. De La Rosa. It goes for $49.99, which a lot of people pay that for just books of this kind of art. It says very clearly on the back it's D100 plus the Hunter's Books D5, which are these guys, and there you have it. So look them up at www.outbreakdeepspace.com and tell them Dwarven Tavern sent you, so they know we're doing our jobs. And get this book if you like zombies and you like space. They have other books that we may be reviewing later on. So give them a shout. 4.5 axes, Dwarven Tavern. Don't forget to subscribe and look us up on Facebook. Give us a like. And don't forget to leave comments. We love to see the comments. Tell us what you would like for us to review. Any games or whatever, and we'll go through it with our normal Dwarven acumen and give it a shot and see what we think. So, as always, we want for you to wish for nothing but adventure, and at first I feared it, and then I charged. I'm Jeff Goins. This is Dwarven Tavern. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Let the